welcome back to my channel. So today we are going to do April's TBR. First, a couple of small announcements. So the first one isn't really that small, but my birthday is in April 9th, if you were wondering, and we are going to be playing my game to find out my TBR, but I'm not going to take any punishments at the end of April. So let's say that I don't finish my TBR, typically I would have to pick a punishment or a challenge in here, which is updated with all the books that I own physically. I might make a Kindle one too and just pick a Kindle book every single time, every single month, but I don't know yet because it is my goal to read some of my Kindle books, and I've been doing fairly well with that this year so far. Second thing is that I'm changing the game slightly. So every month we start down here, and usually I have 2 dice. This month I'm going to take my first turn using 1 die, and then after the first turn we'll continue with the 2 dice, just because I realized that I can't get this first space right here, which is testing book love, and I know that there's another space that has the same thing, but I just feel like it would be better that way. March, I had quite a hefty TBR, so I'm going to try and go through it pretty quickly. So Cujo by Stephen King and That Night by Chevy Stevens have both been DNF'd and unhauled. Then Hold Still was a reread for me, and I didn't love it the first time that I read it, so I kind of skimmed the parts that I did like, specifically the notes that she left behind, but I'm still counting it as a win. Then The Killer Across the Table I finished. Dangerous Angels was like a bind up of 5 different like short story collections, or just weird fairy tale-esque type books. I can't even explain it. I read the first 2.5 and then I just unhauled that book as well, so I guess officially it's a DNF. The Shadows by Alex North I finished. And then, let's see, it's going to start talking here in a second. Oh, okay, so then Good in Bed I read. I am currently on, okay, so there's 6 issues in every issue of Archie. I don't have the one that I'm reading right now, like, on this stack. Oh. But I do own all of the Archie books. So there are 6 volumes in one of these, and I'm on volume 6. I just started volume 6 last night, and I still have 5 days, 6 days left of the month, something like that. So I feel like I will finish that. And then I am buddy reading Plain Bad Heroines with Heather from Bell's Library. It's actually been a very, very slow start. I'm probably like 150 pages in now. I'm not really going to tell you any of my thoughts here, but I'm not going to take a punishment for it. Even though part of me thinks this might go into April, maybe the first couple of days, I have started it. I am a good chunk of the way in, and it's a buddy read, so I'm not going to just hurry up and finish just to finish it by the end of the month. And then Butterface by Avery Flynn was my Kindle book. I did read it. So no punishments for me this month, and no punishments in April. I am going to drink some coffee and set this board game up, and we'll see how lucky I get in this game. Oh, also, I need to pick a Kindle book this month. I want to try and read a nonfiction book. I am doing the Big Book Challenge, and I am also participating in Lala's from Books and Lala, her buzzword-a-thon. I have no idea what the theme is this month, so maybe I should look that up too. Okay, so before we start our game, I did go to check and see what the buzzword-a-thon prompt is. It has to have words like big or little. I think those are supposed to specifically be in the title. I am not sure if I have any books with big or little in the title. Okay, so I think we're going to do it how we did it last month. My little guy is right here, where we roll until we get to the end, and then we pick our books at the end. It went pretty well last time, so let's just see. 5. Let's see, can you see that? Yes, you can. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ooh, a thriller. Now we're gonna roll both dice. Dice. There we go. Oh, okay. So that is a 3. 1, 2, 3. Ooh, a must read. I will see what else there is. Okay, so that is a 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ooh, TBR vet. Now 9. Good, we're getting some big numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh my gosh. So that is a punishment pick. And then we have to restart. So, yay, go me. Alright, let's see what's next. Okay, so there's 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Goodreads. Let's see what else we get. 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Ooh, book of the month. That's great because I forgot to mention that I have to pick a book of the month book every month anyway, so that's pretty good. 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh no, I'm scared. Hubby pick. Alright, let's see how many more books I have to do. So 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Ooh, testing my bookish hate. Let's see what's next. Oh my gosh, that's only 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh, hey, I got my big book on there though. Let's see. So I'm right here. Oh no. That big book. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So if I get anything above a 9, I win. If I get a 5, I go back to start. So please no 5. Oh my gosh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I can count. Okay, so that is a series. So I have to start or continue a series. And I'm pretty sure that means that this is going to be my last rule. But we'll make sure. So there's 5. 1, 2, 3, done. Okay, so we made it to the end. Okay, so I got most of my picks ready. I still have to have Goodreads, my punishment jar, and hubby pick. Plus, we need to find a book for Buzzwordathon and a Kindle book because I haven't picked a Kindle book yet. So we'll see if we can get all of them. But the first book, the first space we landed on was Thriller. So for Thriller, I'm finally going to read A Good Girl's Guide to Murder by Holly Jackson. This is a young adult thriller about this girl named Andy who, for her senior project, she investigates these missing girls, I think, or let's see. No, she investigates this girl who was murdered by her boyfriend, and then her boyfriend killed, like, the girl that he murdered. He killed himself. And, so she's kind of investigating. She wants to know what really happened because she doesn't believe that story. Number 2 is must read. For this one, I feel like I'm halfway cheating because I started this book last month and I wasn't in the right headspace for it, so I put it down. But now I am in a better headspace, and I recently finished a nonfiction about true crime, about some serial killers, and love that for me. So I want to, sorry, Simon, my hamster, is playing in his ball, so if he moves the camera, I apologize. But I started Hunting Charles Manson by Liz Well. Last month. I didn't get very far. I think I got like 50 pages in, and it just wasn't computing with me. It just, I couldn't handle the true crime nature of this book, but I am obsessed with true crime. I specifically am obsessed with Charles Manson. No idea why. Number 3 was a TBR vet. So for me, a TBR vet is a book that I've owned longer than a year that I haven't read. So this one was actually on my 2021 5-star predictions, and I haven't read it. It was the only one that I didn't read last year. So we are going into 2 years with this book, and I'm so excited for it that I don't know why I didn't read it. So there's Nightwood by Patricia Windsor. This is some kind of isolation young adult horror. These teenagers go to this cabin in the middle of the woods. They're there for like a week, and then people start dying one at a time. I believe it's a slasher, and I am so ready for this. Okay. Then, rule number 4 got us the U-turn space, which means that I had to start over, and I need to pick a punishment from my punishment jar. My punishment or my challenge jar. Now, these are just books that are very, that scare me for one reason or another, or they would be a challenge for me to finish. Oh my gosh, some of them are already coming out, so I'm going to try to put them all back. I have no idea what these are. Well, I kind of know some of them because I just finished this yesterday. But I don't know what order they're in or anything. Oh no, this one's a small one. I'm scared. So either it's an author's last name or it's a very short title. Anderson. Okay. So I put a lot of authors who I have backlog of more than 2 books by that author. So I'm going to put her back in here. But it's Lori Howes Anderson. I think I know what book I want. By Lori Howes Anderson. This is kind of like a biography. It's the true story of a survivor who refused to be silenced. I believe this is her story of being raped and being a survivor after. So don't take this lightly. It's going to be very hard hitting and it might be triggering for some people. But it's one that has been on my radar for a while, and it's kind of told in verse, so it's like something that I'm really wanting to read. Okay, and then our 5th roll, after we restarted, I got Goodreads. So for Goodreads, my whole intent was to just pick the last book that I read, regardless of if I liked it or not, and pick a book that was recommended if you like that book. That I want to do it where if I gave the book more than a 3-star, then I will pick that book. So the last book that I finished was actually a 4-star book. It was so nearly perfect. I absolutely loved it. It was Makeup Breakup by Lily Menon. So I'm going to go to see similar books. I'm trying to do it so you can see, so we'll see how it works. Okay, so The Witches by Roald Dahl, I've read. Beach read, I have on audiobook, but I'm not super excited for it. One of Us is next. I've read and it was only okay. The Last Flight I've unhauled. Mexican Gothic I didn't like. Hideaway by Nora Roberts I don't own. Tweet Cute, The House in the Cerulean Sea. Ooh. Okay. Here's what I'm going to do, because it's recommending The Chase by Elle Kennedy, which is the first in the Briar U series. I have started this. It's on my pile of shame, and I own it on Kindle. So this will count for my Kindle book as well. So Goodreads is choosing The Chase by Elle Kennedy. Okay. So Goodreads. Now, number 6 was a Book of the Month book, which is great. I have one book right here that I really want to read, but I promised a friend that I would buddy read it. We were supposed to buddy read it this year together, and we are currently buddy reading Plain Bad Heroines, which is a huge book. Like, the audiobook is 20 hours long, and I'm maybe 3 hours into it. Heather, if you are watching this right now and you need a break from our buddy reads, just like text me or Instagram me or whatever, and that is totally okay. So my Book of the Month pick kind of is going to be determined by, one, if Heather has the book, which I'm 90% sure this was her pick for March's Book of the Month. Correct me if I'm wrong. but also if she's in the mood to buddy read with me again, because, like I said, we're reading a huge book together right now. So, if she wants to buddy read with me, then I'm picking the Book of Cold Cases by Simone St. James. Simone St. James, like, anything this author writes, I will pick up. But like I said, this is tentatively on my TBR. If, for some reason, Heather doesn't want to buddy read with me, or she doesn't have a copy or whatever, then we will be reading Sky Falling by Mia Mckenzie. This is my backlist. Oh, this came out in June of last year, so not really that backlist. Not much of a backlist, but this follows this girl named Sky. She was broke, and, you know, she donated her eggs, and now it's like 18 years later, and one of those eggs, or one of those people, comes back into her life and tries to kind of investigate why she donated eggs, and, you know, kind of get to know one of her kids, I guess, because, like, biologically they are, but it kind of brings up a whole lot of things for me, because motherhood is something that I want so badly, but it's gonna be very, very hard for me, if not impossible for me to conceive, and I just, this is gonna bring up, like, nature versus nurture, and, you know, what it means to be a mom and a parent in general, and it's gonna be tough to read for me, but I'm really excited for this one. So, okay, then we got hubby pick. So let me go get my husband. I think I'm just gonna give him free reign of my bookshelves, or bookshelves, whatever you want.
Cool. Any book I want. Okay.
Where are you going? No, I don't like this. I don't know what you're doing.
Is it rolling?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me just see here. So, you said any book I want. So, this here, this book is called Java 2 How to Program. It's pretty thick. What I need you to do is read it and then teach it to me, because I'm just kidding. I won't make you do that. The book that I actually want you to read
You can pick my TBR cards, or you can pick my bookshelves, whatever you want.
Alright. I think I'm ready. So, do you remember our prom night? How spectacular the night was?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it was excellent, right? We
Yeah.
danced, we had a good time, we drank Shirley Temples.
I know which
We
one you
kissed
picked.
for the first time.
Yeah.
Well, thinking on that night, I chose this book for you. Prom Nights from Hell. Now, I'm not saying our prom night was hell. I actually enjoyed our prom night. It was awesome. But, this is the book you should read.
Thank you.
Yep. Love you.
Uh-huh. I think he's trying to tell me something.
Like what? What have you tried to tell you?
So, this is Prom Nights from Hell. It is 5 short stories by 5 young adult authors. So there's one by Stephanie Meyer, Kim Harrison, Meg Cabot, Lauren Miracle, and Michelle Jaffe. So, yeah, it's exactly what it sounds like. Prom Nights from Hell. Or Prom Nights. Get your book out of my office. After hubby pick, we got Testing Bookish Hate. So I'm going to pick Watch the Girls by Jennifer Wolfe for this one. This is about, like, some Instagrammer or famous, washed up teen star Liv. I don't like following famous characters or like washed up stars or anything like that, so I am not sure that I'm gonna like this, but it does have the stalker aspect to it, and it's gonna talk about like privacy laws and when going too far, like what is going too far when you are famous, and I feel like people deserve privacy regardless of if they're, you know, Anne Hathaway famous or me famous. Because I'm not famous. Landed on Big Book. And I almost picked Imaginary Friend by Stephen Chbosky. But no, I'm not doing that to myself this month. Or, yeah, in April. So I found this floppy. It's a very floppy book. That is almost 600 pages, so it's definitely a big book. But a lot of people here on BookTube have talked about this. I'm thinking about doing a dedicated reading vlog for this book, so that, you know, you can see all of my reactions. It will be like full of spoilers, so if you haven't read it, please don't watch it unless you're not going to read it or you don't care about spoilers. But this is The Diviners by Libba Bray. I have no idea what this is. I think it takes place in the 1920s. I think it's a horror, and I think there's something supernatural about it. Finally, our last book. So our last prompt I landed on was either start or continue a series. I took it very easy on myself. I'm going to continue Archie, so I'm on Archie Volume 2. This is the revitalized series, so Riverdale is based on Archie and Jughead from years ago, and when they redid Riverdale and, you know, made it more modern, they also came out with 8 issues of Archie. So it's kind of Archie and Jughead, but it's also more modern and more problems from today and things like that. And I am absolutely loving the first volume, so I want to continue the series. Plus, it's a graphic novel, so it's, you know, super fast read. And I just needed to be nice to my soul, especially not knowing what hubby was going to give me and what the punishment jar was going to give me. Although those, you know, not too bad. Okay. So, this is what I'm going to be reading in April. Let me know if you've read any of these in the comments below. Again, I'm only going to be reading one of these books, and that is dependent on what Heather and I decide. So, Heather, this is your warning that I want to read this, but if we don't this month, you know, I understand. So, here's this, plus my Kindle book. And thank you so much for hanging out with me and for picking my TBR and for going through the madness of having to read a coding book. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not going to read that coding book, but that was hilarious that he thought I would. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel. If you're new around here, I post every Friday. Which book should I start with? Let me know in the comments below. I'm thinking I should start with Hunting Charles Manson because I've already started it, so I could just finish it real quick, maybe. I don't know. Bye!